You're scorched so hot it diminished stays to debris, making casualty recognizable proof troublesome. Large number of Maui occupants have no place to pursue the harm brought about by fierce blazes. It's assessed no less than 1,000 are still unaccounted for, as government authorities express 85% of the influenced region has been looked up until this point. Unadulterated, underhanded, as I would see it. Lacked the ability to have our minister come in and inquire as to whether we really want supplication in the absolute starting point. However, Oprah could come in. Who is she? Who is she? Oprah is confronting claims of taking assets from individuals who required them the exceptionally most while the flames were consuming, assaulting and, might I venture to say, consuming kids alive. Eventually, I will cause a significant gift after the entirety of the smoke and remains to have settled here. A specific Winfrey's contribution in the Maui rapidly spreading fires that happened has caused a shock with neighborhood occupants. We were unable to try and have our minister come in and inquire as to whether we want supplication in the earliest reference point. However, Oprah could come in. A few people have blamed her for going to outrageous lengths to safeguard her 2,000 section of land Hawaiian property from the remarkable blasts that desolated the island. I was living on 1/8 road when it worked out. I left with nothing aside from my canine. Who is she? Who is she? They said. Goodness, she knows the lead representative. We didn't require her in there in Baldwin High. Get her out. Furthermore, there has been analysis of her public appearances at crisis covers where dislodged occupants looked for shelter in the wake of losing their homes. They passed out tissue since they wouldn't allow us to utilize their washroom. I surmise we seem to be uncleanliness individuals to them in our brown complexion. Neighborhood occupants on Maui have communicated their dissatisfaction, blaming the American host for focusing on the defending of her property over the prosperity of the impacted networks during the fierce blaze emergency. A broadly shared video on TikTok claims that she had proactively employed a private firefighting group before the fires broke out, redirecting essential assets from aiding those out of luck. We were so worried about the thing was occurring in Maui. We're so worried about what's going on in Maui that you some way or another figure out how to enlist a private firefighting group to safeguard your property. The video proceeds to condemn her for not using her significant abundance to straightforwardly uphold the recuperation endeavors and give quick help to the impacted inhabitants. In the video, one reporter states as opposed to assuming control over piece of the land and lodging even a little extent of these dislodged individuals, they employed a confidential security group to keep them from your keep out of the country. Has had an association with Maui for over 15 years and has recently confronted analysis for her land exercises in the well-known Traveler Objective following the new fiasco. Neighborhood occupants called upon her and other well-off people to add to the recuperation endeavors. In association with Dwayne the Stone Johnson helped to establish individuals' asset of Maui and made significant money-related gifts to start the asset. They likewise supported public commitments with the assets expected to be guided directly to those affected by the rapidly spreading fires. In a video message, declared an arrangement to give every occupant beyond 18 1,200 years old $1,200 every month for a long time or until the help reserve was depleted. Notwithstanding, regardless of these endeavors, a few pundits contend that the rich VIPs ought to have borne the whole monetary weight themselves instead of requesting gifts from the general population, while Dwayne Johnson decided to cripple remarks on their Maui-related web-based entertainment posts, conversations connected with the catastrophic event as well as irrelevant substance, keep on occurring among clients on different stages. Dwayne Johnson, who has a special interaction to Hawaii because of his Samoan legacy and family ties, visited Maui to draw in with neighborhood occupants and show his help for the local area. He sincerely committed to progressing support for the island's revamping endeavors, yet later gave a report on the asset, uncovering that 10,000 individuals had previously given and large number of occupants had joined to get monetary help. In a surprising new development after reports surfaced that her property stayed immaculate by the out-of-control fires, a few people even blamed Oprah for possibly beginning the blast herself. A Twitter client posted a photograph of Oprah before her Maui house with a bin of vegetables, implying that her property had been wonderfully saved while others endured. This prompted the development of paranoid notions, proposing her association in the rapidly spreading fire. Another web-based entertainment client asserted that Oprah had altogether extended her property possessions in Maui throughout the long term, while adjacent homes were crushed by the rapidly spreading fires, raising doubts about her part in the emergency. These cases about inclusion in the fierce blazes harmonized with reports from about 14 days earlier where Maui local people brought up issues about why a fire brought about by a brought-down power line was not successfully contained and was permitted to reignite, adding to the catastrophe. Inhabitants contended that more might have been finished to forestall the misfortune and save lives. An inhabitant expressed, "For what reason did they leave? In the event that they could stand by an hour or 30 minutes, they might have saved every other person." The Maui local group of firefighters at first answered the wildfire, yet inhabitants guaranteed they saw the fire light from a brought-down power line. In spite of early departures, the fire was proclaimed 100% contained, just to later eruption, causing far and wide annihilation. Steady inquiries stay about why the fire teams left the scene so rapidly, particularly given the known danger of high breezes. Notwithstanding, official examinations concerning the reason for the fierce blaze and the reaction to it are as yet continuous, and the local area keeps on looking for replies to these disrupting situations that developed during the emergency. Oprah Winfrey has confronted allegations of contemptibility in the past in Kitty Kelly's life story. It was claimed that back in 2010, Oprah adorned her unassuming childhood and manufactured accounts of other egregious demonstrations to help her appraisals. As per her family members, these cases were not even close to precise. Her cousin, Catherine Carr-Esters, countered Oprah's story of experiencing childhood in devastated conditions in provincial Mississippi. Catherine Carr-Esters expressed, "Where Oprah became that gibberish about experiencing childhood in foulness and bugs, I can't really understand." She proceeded to say that she stood up to Oprah about these cases, and Oprah purportedly answered with, "That is the very thing that individuals need to hear." Truly exhausting. In Kelly's life story named Oprah, there were likewise reports of tales coursing at ABC about an expected heartfelt connection between and Diane Sawyer. Representatives at ABC portrayed cases of giggly late-night calls and rich gifts from Oprah to Sawyer, including luxurious orchid game plans and a 1-carat jewel toe ring. Nonetheless, Kelly cited sources portraying an installment of $50,000 by Oprah to an ex in 1989 to keep up with his quietness in regards to her gay sibling and claimed same-sex undertakings. Moreover, the book recommended that Oprah and her long-term accomplice, Stedman Graham, didn't share a room. One of the book's critical disclosures was Oprah's proceeded with look for her organic dad's actual personality. Oprah's cousin, Esther's commented this data with Kelly, however, under the condition that it not be distributed until Oprah's mom uncovered reality to her girl. Vernon Winfrey, the one who raised Oprah, communicated his disappointment with Oprah's supposed untruthfulness, saying she might be